By Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania. She serves on the House Appropriations and Foreign Affairs committees. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time tonight. We really appreciate you being here on a Saturday evening where we are getting a little bit of news from your leader there in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, telling the House Speaker that the Democrats are not going to help get this funding bill passed, that Republicans are going to have to do this on their own. I just would like to know where you stand on that and where you think this goes from here.
Well, good to be with you, Jessica. And I have been talking with Rosa DeLauro, who is our ranking member on appropriations. I'm fortunate to serve on the Appropriations Committee this term. And of course, have been in touch with Hakeem Jeffries and our leadership. Our caucus will be talking again tomorrow. And so I'm with Rosa on this. I'm with Hakeem Jeffries on this. The Republicans need to do the right thing about funding our government and understanding that more support for DHS in its abominable behavior, killing 2 American citizens in cold blood, as filmed by other members of the communities, something's got to change here. The administration, the Homeland Security, is out of control.
And I know you said are scheduled to speak tomorrow as a caucus tomorrow evening. What are you expecting to hear during that? What are you hearing from your colleagues as well?
Our caucus is pretty clear. If you take a look, and I wonder if people understand or remember this, in all the chaos of this administration, which is their point, chaos and cruelty. Do you know that Homeland Security went from about a $6 billion budget, that's a lot of money, in the past, and under the big, beautiful bill, they added $75 billion. That's a whole lot of money for these thugs to be running around unsupervised, untrained, unknown in their masks and in their anonymity and in their grotesque behavior. What my colleagues are saying is no more additional money. In fact, freeze whatever the heck is going on with the operations in Minneapolis. It needs to stop immediately, and they need to withdraw from Minneapolis and any other city. I actually have legislation that I'm going to be introducing to try to curb this president's appetite for flooding cities like Minneapolis. Minneapolis has a police force of about 600 people. Do you know how many officers have come in as a result of this immigration crackdown? 3,000. No city should be swarmed like that with just out of control agents. So I'll be introducing legislation to limit that number to no more than 10% of the municipal force unless asked for by the governor.
Okay, so we'll see how Republicans fare on Monday when they need to work to pass this on their own. On your last point there, I do want to ask you about something we heard from President Trump today on Truth Social. He posted saying that the federal government, and these are his words, wouldn't intervene in protests or in unrest in democratically led cities unless they asked for help. It was a rather lengthy post. There was a little bit more to it, but that was the meat of it there. What did you think about this?
I think he must have noticed that I talked to my ledge team a couple of days ago and said he's got to get out unless a governor asks for the help. So I guess the president was channeling what I was thinking about in terms of legislation. What I want to highlight for you, and it's hard, Jessica, because every day there are so many grotesque offenses by this president who is unhinged and unwell and quite reckless. Did you see what he tweeted? I think it maybe was yesterday about Alex Preddy. Just think of these words. He called him, and I'm just writing, I wrote it down, an agitator, an insurrectionist. That's rich coming from this president. And that his stock, Alex Preddy's stock, has gone way down. What in God's name does that mean? What in God's name does that community, the parents of this ICU Veterans Administration nurse, think of a statement like that from the very President of the United States? I am angry at that kind of behavior.
And I hear the anger in your voice, and I hear your clear, deep disgust and frustration at all of this. Democrats, of course, I don't have to tell you, in the minority, both in the Senate and the House. Republican, there just hasn't been a tremendous amount of oversight on this administration. Do you think, though, in this moment, that Congress might start having more oversight when it comes to specifically DHS and ICE?
I do think so. And what encourages me is 2 weekends ago, I had the chance to travel with Senator Coons and Senator Tillis on a CODEL to Denmark and also to Switzerland. And you know where we were in those days on the crisis of the president threatening a NATO ally, Denmark and Greenland, with military action to take Greenland. That whole sentence sounds insane, and we are now 10 days past that insanity. But what I heard in Senator Tillis and also on the trip with Senator Murkowski in a powerful voice saying that Republicans in the Senate recognize the president has gone too far in many of these issues. So I think there's a change both in the House and in the Senate. I don't hear enough from Republican members of the House. I call out their appalling silence. But what I am super encouraged by are citizens. You see these protests in the streets, in the cold, frigid streets of Minneapolis yesterday in Philadelphia. I have real faith in the fact that American citizens recognize the grotesque nature of this administration. Kristi Noem has to go. Stephen Miller has to go. Bondi has to go. All of those who are so grotesquely enamored of their power against the rights of citizens, against our constitutional rights, the right of free speech, the First Amendment rights. Imagine this president had Don Lemon and another African-American woman journalist jailed over the weekend. What does he think he's going for? Where does he think he's going? I hope the Speaker of the House someday turns around and recognizes this is un-American and it's out of control.
All right, Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, we will see where this story goes when you all head back to the House next week. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.